All right. Well, if you followed the draft and you followed, my coverage of it, then this name won't be surprising to you, and it won't be surprising to you my thoughts on him. It's Jordan Whittington, who was the 6th round pick by the Rams, 213th overall. We're going to get into my thoughts on him, why I think that this pick was really good, and why I think he's more than meets the eye. Before we get into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Also, be sure to follow me on all social media at JKBogan. Let's dive in. So, look, Jordan Whittington is not somebody that has elite level traits. He's not somebody that broke records in college. Quite the contrary. As a matter of fact, he's somebody that didn't have a ton of statistical output in college, didn't score a ton of touchdowns, and actually battled injury to the point where he missed 22 games in the first, few seasons of his career. So why do I like him? Well, let's start off by saying he was my 220th player overall on my board. They picked him at 213. He was my 30th overall wide receiver. As you can tell, I was very high on the wide receivers to have 30 rated within the top 220, but I really was. Whittington has good size at 6'1", 205. It's not like you're getting somebody that's a shrimp. You're getting somebody that is going to have the NFL body, where if he can get open, Matthew Stafford is going to have a decent-sized target to get him the ball. He started 25 of 41 games at Texas, and he caught 5 touchdowns, 141 receptions, and 1,757 yards. He did not participate in enough of the activities, if you will, the drills, the testing to get an RAS score, but he did run a 4.42 40 time in a private setting. He is a former 5-star recruit, an outstanding leader, blocker, very good receiver option, can play inside, can play outside, natural hands receiver, somebody that makes plays after the catch. And really, unfortunately, injuries are the thing that slowed him down. That's the thing we've talked a lot about. Early on in his career, you could have seen Whittington as a 3rd or 4th round player, but injuries did rob him of maybe some athleticism. I'm happy to say, after watching the tape, obviously I've watched the tape beforehand, but watching more tape, I think Whittington's best days are ahead of him, believe it or not. I think he's overcome these injury woes, and I think as long as he can stay healthy, I think he's going to get back to where he was, why he was a 5-star recruit, essentially. So that's the good stuff to hear about. Now, this is in more of a scouting report format, and again, I would totally have the video, but I don't want to get copyright claimed by Exos again. So thank you, Exos Digital, for being annoying and being just what you are, trying to pry off my my work for a little extra money. So since I can't give you clips, let me just take my word for it with the strengths, and you can go and watch afterwards. He's a great athlete. He showcases everything you want in a bigger slot receiver, but I think he can also work on the outside. I know a lot of people think he's more just a slot receiver. I disagree. I think he could do either or. I think he could be pretty interchangeable in this offense. I loved what I saw him immediately wanting to get with Cooper Kupp and learn the game and not really waste any time and be a student. And that's just the type of guy you're getting with somebody like Whittington, who really fits the bill. When he gets the ball in space, he turns into a running back, with the ball in his hands. It's really a sight to see, because this is somebody that wants to break tackles. This is somebody that wants to fight for extra yards. This is somebody that wants to truck you. He had 27 generated missed tackles over the last 2 years alone, and he does a great job of fighting for the extra yards, something we saw Puka Nacua make. He was a staple, with that in that offense, fighting for extra yards, to the point where even some people were saying he's putting himself in some danger here, where maybe he needs to make a business decision and just get out of bounds next time. But Whittington, kind of same way, hard-working guy, quickness on full display, doesn't hesitate to get upfield after securing the catch, which you love to see. He boxes out defenders for the football, and he isn't afraid to climb the ladder and ultimately snatch the ball at its highest point. Is he Allen Robinson in his prime? Is he Calvin Johnson? No, but does he have some decent jump ball skills? Absolutely, and I think that's something that, you can keep in mind moving forward. Maybe we see that usage in the preseason postseason a little bit or even the regular season. In addition to that, he is a tenacious blocker. He really has some highlight reel level plays on film when he's blocking. You can see, the running back, I believe it was Keelan Robinson, the running back that took over for, of course, both of those guys last year, Roshan Johnson and Bijan Robinson. But, I think it might have been Keelan Johnson. I'm totally blanking on the name right now. But anyway, you can find him blocking downfield. He's somebody that definitely takes his blocking seriously. He takes his assignment seriously. He makes it about the team instead of himself. It's why I continue to say this guy's a culture fit. It's why I've made multiple videos and I've mentioned him in mock drafts and articles. I've always liked Whittington's fit on the Rams, and it's been that way for about 2 to 3 months. So now that he is a Ram, I'm very excited about what they could do with him. Like I said, the catch radius, it offers a lot of leeway for a quarterback. Maybe that matters down the road, but right now, Matthew Stafford, he's pretty pinpoint accurate. So still good stuff to have. He's mentally, physically, and emotionally tough. This is somebody who, again, like I mentioned, he missed the 22 games of his career. And, I feel like going through that and, having to go through rehab and really trying to get up to your play, and then you're not able to get where you were, you could see him wanting to quit, and he never did. And so I think that's something that really speaks volumes to him. And what you're getting with this guy, just not willing to back down from anything. I think he's a perfect fit for the Rams based on the culture alone, but I think he's got talent to actually start in this league, which is special. Speaking of special, he has special teams upside. I think he has a chance to be an ace on that struggling unit. Last year was like the worst unit in the league, so hopefully guys like him will make that better. But what are his weaknesses? And I think it's definitely fair to ask. I mean, does this guy have weaknesses? Of course. He's a 6th-round pick. Even guys in the 1st round have weaknesses. First off, he didn't score many touchdowns in college. Now, I think this is more so usage because you have Adonai Mitchell, you have Xavier Worthy, and you have Jatavian Sanders. And last year you had Bijan Robinson and Roshan Johnson. So you have all these weapons all over the place. To not have him be scoring touchdowns isn't the end of the world. So, hate to break it to you, but if you want Whittington to score touchdowns in the NFL, like a ton of them, he still has Kyron Williams and Blake Corum and Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua and Demarcus Robinson and Tutu Atwell and Tyler Higbee when he gets healthy and Colby Parkinson and Davis Allen. There's a lot of guys there. So I don't focus too much on the lack of touchdowns. If you were a number 1 receiver and you didn't have those touchdowns, that's different. But when you're talking about a guy who was essentially the 3rd option, that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. The injuries were a problem. That's one of his weaknesses, causing him to miss 22 games due to a broken clavicle, torn meniscus, and a groin injury. So that's something to keep in mind. It's something that is concerning. But you get a guy like this with upside and everything in the 6th round, I can justify that. The Rams tried to stay away from guys that had serious injury concerns in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th rounds, unlike years past, for a reason. But in the 6th round, I understand it. The contact balance could be a little bit better. And I'm not even saying necessarily the contact balance. I guess his contact balance is pretty good. I think it's mainly just his balance in general. When he gets the ball, he loves to just turn up field and just, be explosive. And he'll actually lose his footing and fall down and miss out on 10, 15 yards at times. So that's something to keep in mind. And he didn't flash the ability to take over a game as a wide receiver 1 at any point in his career. Really more of a complimentary guy, and I don't mean that in a offensive way because I'm a big fan of his. I mean more so you're not watching Jordan Whittington and thinking this guy's going to be, Cooper Kupp triple crown. Okay, you're looking at him like he can be a piece. He could potentially be the number 2. He could be a Robert Woods. He could be a Van Jefferson. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up being somebody like that. But him being the go-to guy, I don't see ever happening. And guess what? Great news. He doesn't have to be. They have Puka Nacua for that down the road. So not too worried about that. But overall, I had given Whittington a 6th-round grade. It might have been a 5th-round grade, to be honest with you. No, it was a 6th. So, yeah, I gave him a 6th-round grade. It doesn't mean I didn't like him. Okay. He went exactly where I thought he should go, and I love the fit to the Rams. He was in my Super Sleepers video. He was somebody that I said just felt like a Ram, and somebody that I said could have, legitimate value as a offensive player and not just a special teamer. But if you want to make the Rams, and this roster is going to be really hard to make, you have to be able to offer some value on special teams. It's great that he has offensive ability. I'm not hating on that whatsoever. But if you can't play special teams, you're not getting on the field, because a lot of these guys, they're going to be cutting a lot of talented players this year just because they can't play special teams. It matters. The Texas staff players, all of them just referred to Whittington essentially as the heartbeat of the program, which tells me he cared more about the bigger picture. When he was at Texas, it wasn't just about the few years at Texas, the 5 years at Texas, what have you. It was about him wanting to leave the program in better shape than it was before. And it was in pretty good shape, to be fair. But that's the type of guy you're getting. You're getting a guy that cares about the big picture. You're getting a guy that cares more about the collective unit, the team, other people, and not just himself. And at this position, that's dominated by diva receivers that are constantly asking for trades, guys that have been traded multiple times, and then they think their teams that they are demanding trades from are the actual reasons, when actually it's really them. Look in the mirror, cough, cough, Stephon Diggs. Those guys exist, right? The diva receiver. Well, Jordan Whittington is not one of those guys. He played third fiddle technically, to Xavier Worthy, who, was drafted in the first round, to Adonai Mitchell, who was drafted in the second round, and he never once complained. And as a matter of fact, I believe he was at Xavier Worthy's birthday. He was at his draft party. So this guy supports his guys. He seems like a genuine dude. And I was not at all surprised that the Rams were interested. First year, I think Whittington can be a special teams ace. He could push the likes of a Ben Skoranek, Tyler Johnson, among others, for limited opportunities on the offense, but mainly he's going to be a special teams guy. I think his second year, Whittington, because he's an older receiver at age 23, will be 24 this year, which could be considered, a little bit of a weakness. I don't know. He could be a key contributor in the passing attack as early as 2 years from now. Whittington, to me, is being brought in to do the things he did in college. Okay, he's being brought in to do them, blocking, all of that, being able to be used on special teams. But in the pros, I think the Rams can tap into that potential and make him a legitimate starter on the offensive side of the ball. He was buried behind the likes of Worthy and Adonai Mitchell and Jatavian Sanders. And like I mentioned, the two running backs last year, of course, we talk about Bijan Robinson and Roschon Johnson. He wasn't given the chance to really see what his full potential was. And he was a 5-star recruit who dealt with a ton of injuries, and Steve Sarkisian always stuck by him and kept him in the lineup because he worked his tail off and he produced results. The Rams take a 6th-round pick just as seriously as a third. And, if you're drafted by the Rams, you have a chance. We learned this with Puka Nacua. Drafted in the 5th round wasn't a throwaway pick. This is somebody that they invested draft capital in. They look at it the same way as a 7th-round pick. So feel good about Whittington on the Rams. This is one of my favorite picks, and I guess I'm biased in a sense, not because I'm a Longhorns fan, because I'm not. It's not even because I'm a Whittington fan, because that didn't happen until I started watching tape this year on him for the draft. But, it's one of my favorites because he was somebody I pinpointed as a perfect fit for the Rams and as a guy that could maybe be this year's Puka Nacua. And obviously no one is going to, in terms, be that Puka Nacua. I mean, a 5th round, rookie wide receiver breaking records, it's just not very likely. But going from 6th round to starter, I could see it. Wouldn't be shocked if he ended up being a starter. And if, Rams coaches raved about him, he's got one of the best, if not the best wide receiver coach in the sport in Eric Yarber. So I'm sure he could get the most out of him. But, he's got a lot of the same qualities that the Rams like, with a Nacua, a Kupp, a Robert Woods, a Van Jefferson, a lot of those same qualities. And I feel like number 88, Jordan Whittington, is going to be somebody that sticks around for a while. Maybe he's a 10-year guy who starts off, he cracks the lineup as a number 2 receiver or number 3, and then maybe over time he falls back down to 4, but he's always a fan favorite, and he turns into like a Ricky Prohl who always makes the big catch late in games and things like that. If that's the case, then they absolutely nailed this pick. He doesn't have to be the best receiver in the league for this pick to hit. He just needs to really make the roster. That's what a 6th-round pick should do. But I think we should expect way more from Jordan Whittington. I think you guys should be very excited. I think right now the Rams have one of the best wide receiver rooms in the NFL, and I'm excited to see this guy's maturation and development. He is older, one of the more older, experienced wide receivers in this class. But I think when it comes to adversity and when it comes to perseverance, there's not many guys in this class, regardless of position, that can match the type of things that Jordan Whittington has experienced, he's gone through, and he has overcome. So big fan of this guy. I think you should be as well. I know there were a lot of guys on the board when they picked him here at the wide receiver position that could offer more, maybe more explosion on the offense, but clearly the Rams saw a guy that was a cultural fit. They fell in love with him. And, furthermore, this is somebody that's going to win on special teams. If you draft a guy that's a really good receiver but can't play special teams, how is he going to knock off Tyler Johnson? He's not. So I totally get the rationale behind drafting Whittington, and I'm really excited to see this guy play. So we'll see how big his role is, this rookie year. Could be a fun preseason. If Stetson Bennett will probably end up being the starter, and if that's the case in preseason, he's going to be thrown to the likes of Jordan Whittington, Tyler Johnson, who caught a touchdown in Week 18 last year, and some other guys. So I'm really excited to see what Whittington can do. And I think this is just the beginning of number 88. I think we're going to see a lot more of him. And I think it's going to start with special teams. He's going to, gain the fandom of a lot of these fans, and he'll be a fan favorite before long. And then he'll start, we saw last year with Austin Trammell, and we've seen it with Brandon Powell. They give these guys opportunities on the offensive side. I would not be surprised if we start seeing Whittington getting the same, probably middle of the season and into the rest of the year. So we'll see what happens. Overall, I love this draft pick. I think you should too. The scouting report is you're getting a guy that is a perfect culture fit. He does everything you like. Everything that is your type of receiver is in Jordan Whittington. But the potential is a complete question mark because he hasn't really been explored enough at Texas. And that offers way more intrigue and positivity than negativity, because you already like the things that he's good at, but he has a chance to be really good. And I think there's a lot that we don't know about Jordan Whittington. So it's going to be fun seeing him in his rookie year. But those are my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section below how you feel about Jordan Whittington. Really appreciate the comments, guys. I'm seeing them. Obviously, I'm running errands left and right, doing the Yankee show, trying to get content out, and still waiting for my backdrop stuff. So sorry for the white background. Obviously we're going to be working on that this week, and hopefully, we'll have a great backdrop and everything. Also, I saw the comments about the glasses, and yes, they've always been light filtering, blue light filtering. I don't know why it took until now for me to really notice it. And I mean, it was always there, but it seems like it's worse in this room. So what I think I'm probably going to do is do it this way. You don't see them. I only have blue light filtering glasses. Didn't think that these were, but they are. I actually just turned my monitor, turned my MacBook, turned on the night shade or whatever that they have on the MacBook. I don't know. There's an app thing, and it made the display all orange because by doing that, there's no blue light. And since there's no blue light, you can't see it on my glasses anymore. So it looks presentable, looks better. So hope you guys are enjoying the content. I'm going to start ramping it up this week. But yeah, appreciate you guys stopping by, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, folks. Do you love talking about the Rams, the NFL, or just want to be a part of a community? Join my free Discord server today. We're over 800 members. We got 24/7 live chat, a level 3 boosted server, the ability to call into JE Live, playing online games with us on Kick streams, toggleable alerts for when I go live on YouTube or Kick so you don't miss a live stream, and exclusive giveaways. Click the link in the description, the comments section, or the link that comes up in the video to learn more and join today.